Hey, it's Joel Peters, and today we're going to be taking a look at Borderlands 4 running on my RX 6750 XT and Ryzen 9 5900X. I'm going to talk about my thoughts on the game. I'm going to talk about a variety of things, and what I like and dislike about this game, and so forth. And I'll kind of just jump right off the rip and say that I dislike that the performance is not amazing on this. I am currently running a mod that my friend Ashley actually told me about. I was looking at some different things. Basically, it's called Ultimate Engine Tweaks, Anti-Stutters, More Performance, Lower Latency, Better Clarity. It's a Unreal Engine INI file, pretty much. And I've noticed that while running this, I have frame gen on because I used to be absolutely against frame generation, but this game feels relatively smooth to run with it. So on average, I just got notification there was a patch, by the way, too. But on average, I'm getting about 45, 50 FPS. So it's basically doubling the frame rate. But I don't want to leave my frame rate counter on or anything like that. I just want the game, I'm going to leave it on for this video. But when I'm playing, I don't. And I don't for a very specific reason. Because I want to just sit here and enjoy my game, right? But you saw I quickly loaded in, no shaders, nothing like that. We can see the frame rate. All of that. For whatever reason, Rivet Tuner is not working at all, so we're not going to be using Rivet Tuner. I'm currently in a boss fight, and I will be talking while I do this boss fight. I want to just show you progress-wise. I've uploaded this to X, Twitter, also to my Facebook account stuff too. These are the weapons I've got. What I recently got, the rarity, all these things, right? I've got some other stuff in my inventory, like in my storage and everything in Vault, but anyway. There we are. I've explored this much of the map so far. So really not a lot. It's a giant map, and I have a feeling they're going to expand upon it in further updates and stuff in DLC and whatnot. I'm following a build guide because I only get one playthrough in my entire life for most games, just based on time. So I'm currently running with the one that I found on Maxroll GG. This is what it recommended. So it recommends going with 5 in Cold Iron on, and then Coven, and then putting the rest into grave sites, getting yourself, anyway, yeah, basically speccing it out, and then going back into this tree to then, get Coven and stuff. Anyways, I'm following it is what I'm saying. I'm almost level 12, like halfway there, and I love this character. I'm having a good time playing as Vex. I think it's pretty fun. My first playthrough, the very first time I started playing this, for like the first 20-30 minutes, I was playing as, I think it's Amon or whatever. Anyway, he seems fine. He seems like he's a good character. I have no qualms, no issues at all. This grappling hook, it slaps, as the kids say. It's a great item. Now I'm going to take a look at that item there and see if it's any better than the shield I have. I feel like it's not, but I'm going to compare it and just see. Compare it to what I have here. Level 11. Nothing really special about it. 261 versus the... Yeah, I'm going to grab it because it is a higher level. It's not that much more, honestly. I'm going to grab both of these, actually. Anyway, I like the game. I'm going to say it right off the bat. I like the game. I just wish the performance was loads better. And it's not. And it's a shame because this game is the best Borderlands game in years, if not the best Borderlands game by far. There's a few things to mention that I think are really important. Gearbox are not known for optimizing their games whatsoever. There's jokes in this game that I don't find to be that funny. There's one, the character of Rush, who keeps talking about protein bars. And even Vex makes a comment like, oh, can you make anything else? Like, well, they're easy to make, blah, blah, blah. It just kind of feels like the frozen yogurt joke that was in Borderlands 3. Borderlands 3's biggest issue was its story. I don't know how the story is in this game so far. It seems fine. I don't really notice anything wrong with it necessarily. But I just don't want to have the same slap-happy jokes that were in every other, in the last couple Borderlands. I own New Tales from the Borderlands, never played it, watched a video, it explained it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't play that. I can understand why a lot of people thought it was kind of the weakest entry in Borderlands overall. I have to talk about this video because it's really important in this video to preface it. I am a big Borderlands fan. I make it my mission on every phone I have to try to get Borderlands 2 to run in some facet or another, or some way or another. I was trying to get the Switch version of Borderlands 3 to run on my phones. I've tried with Borderlands 2. For whatever reason, it's Windows emulation is just not at the level it needs to be. But whatever, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, right, what you're going to get out of this game is what you're going to get out of it. If you don't like Borderlands, you're not going to like this game. I'm just going to say that straight up. But it does a lot of cool things. Like, for example, you've got this this bike. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a hover bike in a way. You get that, I can use it in a combat arena, right? You get all of these really cool things. Flying around is super dope. It is incredibly cool to be able to glide. The only game that even comes close to that, in my honest opinion, was probably Borderlands pre-sequel, which wasn't even officially made by like Gearbox. It was made by the B team, basically, out in Australia, and they killed it. They killed it. That game is still really fun to this day. But there's a reason I won't do more than like basically one playthrough of Borderlands, and that's just because I like to jerk. I like to mess about, and I like to kind of have moments and everything. But I will never do a new playthrough of a new character. I stick with one character, and I basically play that primarily. Why? Because life is too short, and there's too many games to play. So for me, if a game doesn't have a compelling gameplay loop that makes me want to play it, if the characters are incredibly nauseating or annoying or whatever, I'm just not going to enjoy it. That's just the honest to God truth. If I can't find enjoyment in a game, I'm not going to continue with it. I have been playing Borderlands since it released. I had a buddy of mine, an old friend of mine named Ben, who his dad was playing Borderlands 1 on the PlayStation 3. I'm going to die. I'm going to have to restart this over. This is an annoying boss, by the way. I have a sniper rifle and everything, but it's just annoying. I'm gonna end up dying. Yeah, I can't. Oh. Okay, cool. Borderlands, Ben's dad introduced me to Borderlands on the PlayStation 3, and then I had it on the 360. I finished it. I had a blast with it. Played all through all the DLC on that, except for the Mad Moxie's Underdome Riot. I played like half of it. The DLC in Borderlands 1 was hit or miss. There were some good moments, and there were some not so good moments. Borderlands 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. Despite me only playing one playthrough, I have consecutively played every single Vault Hunter in that game. All the extra content, Maya Creek, played all of those. I had a great time. I played quite a bit of Zero, quite a bit as even Gage. Primarily, my main playthrough was Axton. And I didn't really care as that much about playing, Ultimate Vault Hunter. I did try during a second playthrough and even into a third playthrough on Axton. But for me, Borderlands has never been about. It is very much like a Diablo style of game. Like it was billed when it first came out as Diablo with guns. Now I'd say that this game is a lot more like Destiny, a better single player version of Destiny. There is co-op in this, 100%. I mean, Borderlands is built on co-op, so there has to be co-op. There's I don't know how the split screen is. I haven't got to it. Nothing like that. I'm enjoying the playthrough that I have, and you see that I'm clearly struggling with this because I'm just not really. I'm going for the boss, but I'm also kind of just like more talking than just playing, because again, I'm just kind of showing you performance and all this stuff. I'm leaving frame gen on for a reason, because I'm not missing because of frame gen. I'm missing because I'm dog water at this, as the kids will say. I don't use a lot of these terms that people use, but my point is I'm not doing very well on it, and it's not really showing you the gameplay, because I don't want to go leave this area, start over, yada yada, to demonstrate. If you want to see exquisite gameplay, go see exquisite gameplay. But as like a series veteran, right? I have played every single Borderlands in some way or another, except for except for Tales of the Borderlands. I think I started it, but I never got that far into it. I was playing through. I think I got through the first episode, if I remember correctly, and I was streaming it years ago, and I was like, oh, I should probably finish this. Never did. I don't know what caused me to stop, but it is what it is. I should use that minigun. I'm going to use my minigun. Anyway, regardless, I love this series. I do love this series. But it's flagged with so much controversy from performance, from the CEO's comments on social media. It's just it's myriad with controversy, and it really does hold it back from being an amazing game. I love that, side point, that I get to work with some voice actors who have been in this game. I do, and it's so cool to be able to talk shop with people and hear their performance in one project you worked with, and then see them in another project. I love that. I love that I as a person who works in the games industry, it's very different than when I had played Borderlands 2, 1, and 3 initially. To be clear, I played Borderlands 1, I played Borderlands 2, then I played Borderlands 3. A little bit more context, I got Borderlands 2 on Xbox 360 as a Christmas or birthday gift, because it launched about before my birthday. So I got it as a birthday gift from my sister's ex-boyfriend. I had a blast with that game. I played so much of it on 360. I bought all the DLC. I have very fond memories of playing through Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep. I thought it was one of the greatest pieces of side content to ever come out, and I'm glad that they ended up making that Wonderlands game. Even Wonderlands, I'm getting my butt handed to me right now. This is a lot tougher than I thought it would be. But I've got some really good weapons here. It's just this boss is like very much reminds me of Bunker, because he's so high up and everything. It's a pain in the butt to get to him. Is it Bunker? I don't know. It's that boss that's in Borderlands 2. Anyway, I have very fond memories of Borderlands 2, and I remember with Borderlands 2, I'm like, yeah, the game is good, and then it just kept going. I don't know how the story is going to be in this. I don't even really remember much of the story in Borderlands. I'm going to save those guys for second ones. I don't remember much of the story in Borderlands 3. I know things that happened, right? But I don't really remember all that much of like how things played out. Why? I watched a recap recently. I'm like, okay, but I don't really remember a lot of things about that game. I never finished any of the additional content except for... No, that's not true. I finished the Handsome Jack's Jack plot one, and I finished the Krieg DLC many years later. I still have content to play through that, the Love and Tentacles, all that stuff. I never finished much of the Borderlands 2's DLC. I finished Captain Scarlet's. I was working a little bit on Torg's DLC. I worked on all the extra additional side things. That game it's just there's way too much stuff in these games, right? They're way too fully fleshed out. And I never finished the raid on DigiPeak. I might have finished like the first round of it or whatever. But anyway, my point being, I have played Borderlands quite thoroughly and have had a lot of fun with it. I know that I actually have a playthrough on Borderlands 2 that's going through Bounty of Blood, and I have to continue that. I'm excited by the characters. I love what they've done with it. Pre-sequel, I never finished any of the DLC on that one. I still have a playthrough going where I think I was playing as Nisha, if I'm not mistaken. I thought that was fun enough. I think I also played as Wilhelm. I played as a lot of different characters, right? What I'm trying to say is, like, I really have a lot of love for this game. But the biggest problem I've always had with Borderlands is that intro. That intro, first few hours of the game, is what's really going to either kill you or it's what you're going to enjoy, right? That's weird. There's a guy up there. So, like, it's going to either you're going to love it or hate it. And that's what's going to make or break for a lot of people is that first few hours of gameplay. I can tell you this fully, in full disclosure, I despise the intro quests of Borderlands 2. They're so boring to me. Upon subsequent playthroughs, I hate them. Because I don't want to keep going through Windshare Waste. I don't want to keep going through dealing with the bullymong's and the eye sphincters, all that stuff. Like I don't want to keep doing that over and over again. So it's kind of weird because, like, I know there's so much content in Borderlands 2 that I have not ever seen, right? Because frankly, I just don't have the time to sit back. But there's so many cool missions in that game. But what really made Borderlands 2 so great was the voice acting. The voice acting, especially with Damon had done, I think it was Damon, as Handsome Jack, is just wild to say, right? He did such a great job as Handsome Jack. It was just, it blew me away. He was such a compelling villain. He really made you feel a lot of different emotions. He really got under your skin, and he made you hate him. He truly made you hate him. And you really have to give props to the voice actor for that, and the director, and just everyone who's worked on that project. So with all that out of the way, Borderlands 3 failed because of the story. I mean, it didn't fail. Like, it was a very successful game, but it left such a poor taste in so many people's mouths because of the way it handled the story and the lore and everything. Unfortunately, you know, the world of Pandora and Kairos, they're not fun to you. They're not nice to you. They're not, you know, comfortable to live on. You look at Borderlands 1, and it's a kooky game. It's like a wacky game, but it's brutal. If you really look at the world that you're on in Pandora, it's brutal, right? So there's no real saving grace there of like, oh, it's a happy-go-lucky game. It's not. And in Borderlands 2, the writing on that game wasn't always the strongest in some areas. They were a little too reliant on, you know, then like relevant memes and things like that. Like, it felt kind of, I don't want to say, you know, inappropriate at times, but it didn't have the weight all the time. But when it did have the weight, I remember, spoiler warning if you've never played Borderlands 2, and I really advise you to do so, but I remember the weight of, like, with Handsome Jack, and just finding out the reveal of who Angel is. That was so heartbreaking to see. Or, like, Bloodwing, and, like, all these different moments, right? You're like, the reason why Bloodwing was such a important moment and such an impactful moment in the game was strictly because you had played the entirety of Borderlands 1, DLC and so forth, as Mordecai, using Bloodwing as an extension of yourself as an ability. And then you find out what happens to him, and it's just like a shadow of himself, right? It's almost, that's why like those games are insane. Or see what happened with Brick, or see what happens with Lilith or Roland, like all these things. Like, it really, you understand the world is not friendly. You're on a hostile, unhospitable planet, and there's just so much has happened. But everything has its charm. It all has its level of jank, but its own charm to it, right? So, like, when you look at that, this boss is, by the way, incredibly annoying. I don't know if there's an easier way to do this. I feel like I'm bullet sponging right now. Like, this is a waste of my time. This is a boss I just dislike. It's probably really easy to take out, but, you know, I am trying to aim for it. I am trying to kill it, and I can't even, like, land any shots on it. It's like I have to use a shotgun to do this. Of course, I'm only a few hours in this game, so I don't really know how many weapons are in it. But that's another thing I've loved about Borderlands is that, okay, so we have to discuss this too, the elephant in the room. Borderlands series has maybe millions of guns, sure. All the RNG or the randomization is absolutely valid, right? But Borderlands 2, you really are only going to be using a few select guns. There's a level of meta that goes with it. You look at Borderlands 2, even Borderlands 3, and there's a meta that goes with it. And you're basically, as a player, wanting to try to get the most, you know, non-bullet spongy kills, like the most OP, you know, murderous rampage. You're going to be using guides. You're going to be using drops that you get through videos. You're going to be, you know, looking this stuff up, right? The reason you're going to do that is because it just makes logical sense. You might farm out some enemies and stuff like that. Sorry, I have to bring this up because this is a really cool feature. Replay. The fact that you have replay in this is so cool. And the whole reason for replay, friends, is so you can basically just get the gear. So you can just farm that gear that you want to get. That is a quality of life feature that was not in any other game, and I'm so happy it's there. I could be wrong. Borderlands 2 or 3 might have had it. I know Borderlands 3 had kind of a similar sort of a system where you could, you know, you could basically change the difficulty and everything like that, and it would change your rewards, but I didn't see a replay system. I could be wrong, but I'm glad they put that in. That was something that was, honestly, is probably going to be game-changing for a lot of players. Just the fact that you don't have to start a new playthrough and have to rerun it over and over again, it really adds longevity to it for people who are going to be farming loot. Very happy about it. Graphically, I have a few issues with it. When you're looking at trees, for example, with the default settings on or whatever, I've noticed that there is, it's almost distracting. I mentioned this in the video I was working on and I kind of stopped. Sorry, I know I'm taking up all this time, but I'm just like, I want to try to do this, but I'm going to use a minigun now. I have that as a grenade type of ability. I'm going to just use it because I'm wasting time here. Yeah, that might work a little bit better. So, like, I've noticed that, like, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe pre-sequel had it. I don't remember. This is such a waste of time, man. Jeez. This is, like, taking up so much time. People are like, you suck. Joel Peter, you're so bad at this game. I've spent 19 minutes basically on this boss fight. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm getting annoyed. Anyway, doesn't matter. The health system, I have to bring this up. This is another great quality of life feature that was sorely missing from the previous games. Yes, health was not difficult to get, right? It wasn't hard as heck to get health in this game. But you have to admit, the fact that you have a dedicated key, you pick up the health vials, you have a key, and you can, get shields, yada yada. But like the fact that exists, that is something that I'm surprised was never in the previous games, because it's not hard to implement. Oh, thank God. Just decided to swap to like a sniper rifle, and it just makes life easy. Can I just like sticky it? I'm gonna just sticky it. Let's see if that works a little bit better. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. Oh God. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to my health. Nothing feels unfair in this so far. Again, I'm really not that far into the game, but I had to mention it. Nothing feels remarkably unfair or like, oh, this is terrible. Oh, so if you press C and swap, oh, that's pretty cool. Oh my God, what the, no, what do you, no. No. Dude, no. That's so crap, man. I didn't see a single enemy. Anyway, neither here nor there. My toddler is either sleeping or trying to sleep. I have to keep it down. Basically, what I'm saying is I spent about 20-ish minutes on that fight. I didn't die. I also wasn't like aggressively pushing. But nothing, again, feels unfair in this game to me at all. Nothing feels like, oh, this is awful. I hate this. It might change later on. I don't know. But I just know that I'm very happy with what I've played so far. That isn't to say that I'm gonna thoroughly enjoy this game when I've hit the like 50-hour mark or whatever. But for the couple hours that I've put into it, I've definitely say that this is top tier. This is like some top tier gunplay. Everything feels pretty fun to use. I haven't noticed anything like, oh, that's broken. That feels awful. But the other thing about Borderlands you have to keep in mind too is that this game really was designed around collecting loot and breaking the system. What I mean by that is simply this, right? You as a player are going to thoroughly enjoy your experience in this game if you know what you're looking for and so forth. Okay, so this shield is 490. It's level 9. I'm going to go for this level 6 just because I need the higher whatever. I feel like I'm wasting. Okay, we're going to go for I like the throwing knife one. It's such a cool ability. We're going to use it. We're going to see if this changes. I'm not going to use the G one. That like armor or whatever the heck it is. All right. Anyway, going back to it. So like, there's a lot I love about this game. I think it really does nail it on the head with the gameplay. My buddy Ashley, I was talking about this. She's like, she didn't really care for Borderlands 2. She loved Borderlands 3. I think is what she's, I'll have to look at it. But basically it was along the lines of she really enjoyed Borderlands 3, but didn't really care for the previous other entries, which is fine. But because she loved it, she feels like this is the best Borderlands. And I agree. This is probably the best Borderlands to come out in years. Because it just feels right. It feels like there's so many good things. I haven't even addressed like the main elephant in the room, which is the open world. Because it is a different type of Borderlands. But from what people have been saying online and stuff is that it just definitely feels more compact and more dense versus like, okay, so let's talk about the hub worlds for a second in Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3. So Borderlands 2, you're all in Pandora. You go from area to area to area. Obviously, all the expansion content added so much more. But Borderlands 2 on its own is a pretty big game. Like, it really is. Like, the fact that that game sells for so cheap now just means so much now. Like, it's crazy. But we look at it, right? Borderlands 2 is a very lengthy game with a lot of content. But your first playthrough is going to take you to about level 20 something, 23, 24, whatever, maybe up to 30. You go into the true Vault Hunter mode, and that's when your game really begins, yada yada yada. And then you obviously go into Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, right? Okay, so you look at that and you view, okay, so you get through all the content, you've done that, you do all of your DLC. Oh, okay, well, that was fun. You do all your DLC stuff on that playthrough, and then you go to the next one, unless you want to get, you know, the awards, achievements, all that stuff, right? But you look at it, you're like, okay, I played this much of the game, I'm enjoying what I've played, but I'm kind of sitting here and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to go through all of that again, right? So I'm not going to waste my time, yada, yada, yada. What I'm saying with the worlds is that, like, you don't really start to unlock all the cooler areas until later in the game, which is fine, makes sense. But I could tell you, as I mentioned before about the beginning of the game being incredibly boring. Borderlands 1 is incredibly boring. I don't mean that upon your first playthrough. Your first playthrough, you're enthralled with it. The second playthrough is really where you really want your game to be fun, and you don't want to... You're going to be going through this multiple times. Because let's be honest, your first playthrough on your first character is going to probably be about 20 to 30 hours. Maybe less, depends on how long you can speed through it. But overall, like, by the way, there is it looks like there is a day and night cycle too, which is pretty cool that it's open world, that it does that, and it relates that, because I've been doing this fight since nighttime. It's now daytime, which I think is great. Borderlands 2, pretty much was all baked lighting, and it was all it was basically all depending on what the developer said time did that. So you have, I think there was also like a nighttime sequence for a few places, but I don't remember there being a day. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. But anyway, there we go. That fight's finished. Thank you, Jesus, for that, because that was not fun. Oh, they're all dead now. Okay, sweet. It would be a pretty... I know I wasted time, and I'm sorry. I was like, how do I do this? Because I'm trying to shoot it, shotgun, whatever. Oh, that's cool. Where's the loot, though? I was hoping I was going to get loot from that. Did I not get any loot from that? Oh, okay, I got this purple item. Oh. Alright, I got that, whatever. That kind of sucks, though. I thought I was going to get more loot. That was kind of crap. Did I know there's... Oh, another thing, too. There's a lost loot filter, or, like, bank, which is really cool. I'm glad they brought that back from Borderlands 3. Going to the area. So you have that, right? In Borderlands 2, you're going all around Pandora or whatever. Borderlands 3 opens up and it's like, okay, we're going space travel. Cool. We got that, all these islands. But then all these planets. But you go to the planets and then there's really not that much to do. And you're like, huh, okay. Again, I never finished all the additional side content. Ooh. Yeah, let's go ahead and swap that. I never finished all the additional side content in that game. But for me, Borderlands 3 just was like, okay, there's a lot more of it, but I just don't feel compelled to do it. The UI looked better, the gameplay was more fun, there's a lot more to do, but it just didn't have that same heart to it. And I think it comes from the writing. I think it really does come from the fact that Anthony Birch worked on the second really. This is great, by the way. I love this. You could just do that. I could have glided, but anyway. Now that we can finally address it, yeah, I love the fact that, like I said, this has a speeder of sorts, and it's just really cool to use. I think it's great. I think this game really opens up when you get to combo kills and so forth, and it's super, super fun. Very satisfying. They did a lot with it. You've been looking at the frame rate, you've been looking at all this, right? Frame gen is almost required for this. I hate to say it, and that really makes me mad, but it is. It's almost required if you want to be able to enjoy this. But notice, I'm really not talking about performance at all. I'm talking about the gameplay. So I haven't done a lot. There's hideouts in this game. There's just a lot of various things to find. So now that we're past that mission, we can kind of discuss a little bit more about the map, right? So you've got an order bunker, which you can, you get to get prototypes, which is pretty cool, I guess. You can get safe houses, things like that, and there's like, undiscovered. Typical open world stuff. But it really is what people were wanting with an MMO, basically. It has enough open world stuff. But I haven't really noticed that there's any real issues. Like, you can look at all this, right? Everything is here. It shows you, like, all the stuff that's in this game. So, when we view it as a Borderlands player, also, the fact that you got Kairos here in the middle makes me think that they are going to be expanding this game out to be completely different areas later on in the various content, just as they did with Borderlands 3. But yeah, I don't really remember. Like, I like the loading areas were fine in Borderlands 2 and 3 and Borderlands 1. No mini map is a pain. I'm gonna be honest. I hope that someone is able to create a mod that can do it. If they can do it with Schedule 1, I hope they create a mod that allows you to have a mini map on the right hand side. The compass is fine, but I prefer a map. It's just that's Borderlands to me. And yes, you're following a breadcrumb trail, yada yada yada. But really, like I would like to enjoy my gameplay overall and not have to feel like I'm getting lost all the time. Because yes, I have to open up my map, yada yada yada. A companion app would be cool to have too. But again, these are just me grasping at straws, right? When we break it down, how is this game to play as a longtime veteran of Borderlands, completing headhunter content, all that stuff? It's fun. It really is fun. It looks pretty solid. It looks newer. It's definitely, the art style is not for everyone. And like, I notice this way more. Like, I'm in the grass and I notice that there's like almost not shimmering, but there's like definitely an issue. I can feel it stutter a little bit with the frame gen on, but again, I'm not going to complain about it, right? It's fine to me. My biggest issue, like I said, really is just that performance and the fact that it doesn't have the, I don't know what to say. It's not the jank of Borderlands, but it has the feeling of Borderlands. It feels like it is incredibly fun to play, as I mentioned. The weapon variety, or the enemy variety, is pretty nice. The music's alright too. It doesn't feel as iconic as what I think Jasper Kidd had done. I think of like all of the stuff that you fight, but again, I also haven't really been actively listening to it, so maybe it is pretty good. It feels similar, but like I just think about all the music from Borderlands 2. I just think I've played so much Borderlands 2 over the years. I have that game almost memorized in the back of my mind of like where areas are. But I can tell you, there's things I just absolutely dislike about Borderlands 2. They're just so not great to me, and I just wish they would have changed, that Borderlands 4 isn't doing, which I'm happy about. Because, again, the backpedaling is so annoying in Borderlands 1 when you're going through, was it Crom's Canyon or whatever, and you're trying to fight Bonehead or something. Like, I remember these things. I'm like, oh my god, this is so annoying, right? Having to go up and around, all that stuff. And it's just like, I just want to fast track there. I haven't noticed any of that yet. I also haven't played enough of the game really to notice it. But like, just again, to show you where we were, I think we were about, like, I don't remember. We were in one of these areas. I think we're here. And just the amount of time we've been playing, we've really been in this one area. This one area here, right? We haven't gone that far out. This is where you kind of start, is around like this area here, basically. You have all this side, like all of this map to explore. All right. There is a mod that can remove the fog of war from it, which I think absolutely defeats the purpose. But if you're doing a new playthrough, yeah, okay, you don't want to have the fog of war on as a mod, that's fine, right? If you want to basically just run steamroll from A to B, whatever, fine. As a first-time player of this specific game, though, I'm so happy it exists. There are going to be comparisons. Even Zenki, I think, Zenki Goose on X or Twitter mentioned this. It reminds him very much of Destiny. And I would agree, this does remind me so much of Destiny. It comes down to the weapons, the UI a little bit, the way it plays out. The wardens that you fight that are floating in the sky remind me very much of the mages or wizards or whatever from Destiny 2 and 1 and stuff. Is that bad? No. Destiny is actually does really, really well for it. The problem with Destiny is just that the story is so nonsensical, and there's too much unnecessary content in that game that you get overwhelmed as a new player. This streamlined it. What I would say about Borderlands 4, honestly, as a longtime vet, is that this game streamlines the Borderlands experience, and it honestly, it boils it down into a much more cohesive, fun, moment-to-moment combat. There's not a lot of slowness in it. You know, I fought a boss fight for a while because, frankly, I didn't know how to fight it. But once I knew how to do it, like, okay, cool, I got it completed in less time. All right? And I'm down now. I'm glad that Fight for Your Life, they brought that mechanic back from the Borderlands 2. I think it was Borderlands 2 or Borderlands 3, where you could move around and Fight for Your Life. I know in Borderlands 1, I don't think you could. But you have to think about what's changed since Borderlands came out in 2009. A lot, either 2009 or 2008, right? A lot has changed in the landscape and stuff. Something I haven't noticed yet is any season passes, like in the sense of, battle passes. I haven't noticed any seasonal content or battle passes in this. I haven't noticed that there's any miscellaneous garbage that exists. None of that, right? Again, I haven't really played it, and it's only been out for a couple days, but I really have not noticed any of that stuff that I think is absolutely ruining games and making it a live service. This is a single-player, non-live service game with a live service type of environment, if that makes sense. Like, it 100% is, if Borderlands was a live service game, but they didn't have any of the nonsense live service-ness to it, which in essence is, it's an open world Borderlands game, and it absolutely slaps. Like, it does so many great things for the series and for the franchise, and it brings it into 2025, which I think is phenomenal. My biggest issue, though, will always be the fact that performance is just not amazing, and that is an issue with Unreal Engine 5. You've been watching this whole footage with frame generation off on an RX 6750 XT, a Ryzen 9 5900X, 64 gigs of RAM, and I have not had one issue really with performance this entire time I've been making this video. I've had the frame rate counter on for a very specific reason, because I wanted to show you that when you really don't have, a top tier machine, but it still runs fine. I don't know what you're supposed to do. Oh, we got some stuttering because of the devil. Might be also because I'm using OBS. I don't know. But I don't have like a top tier machine. I don't have a machine that's terrible either, mind you. But I've been able to play this without too much issue. Yeah, there's some stuttering, there's some issues like slowdown and so forth. I could go in and I could put my FSR to balance at 1440. I'm playing at 1440, mind you, too. Keep in mind. I put it balanced and I could, get a slightly better frame rate. Nothing major. And that's a shame. It is a shame. But some very talented people worked on this game. And those talented people have made something that's very special. And if you can get past the technical issues with it, and it doesn't really bother you that much, you're going to find a game that has a lot of heart, a lot of love, a lot of care put into it, and it doesn't feel like AI slop. It doesn't feel like it's just bottom of the barrel, the latest title. It does feel like it's a new entry in the Borderlands series. But I'd also say, don't buy it at full price right now, because if you're not doing it because of FOMO, and you're like wanting this game but you really don't want to invest a lot of money into it because you don't have a lot of money, don't buy it full price. Either get it through Humble Bundle, get it through get it through Humble Bundle or Green Man Gaming or something, or a place where you can get like maybe a referral code or like affiliate, and then buy it that way. It does have de novo, which I haven't even addressed. The fact that this game is the first Borderlands game to have de novo anti-tampering, which we know 100% has been notorious for lower performance. Resident Evil Village had de novo. They removed it. The performance improved. I don't know why they added it. I mean, I do know, realistically, I do know why they added de novo to the game. But at the same time, it doesn't really work. It deters people, sure, but whatever. Again, I don't want to talk about that elephant in the room because I feel like it's not that important. But again, this computer is not anything amazing. It would have been a dream computer when I was younger. Oh, my backpack's full. It would have been a dream computer when I was younger, and it's still a really good machine. I will say, this is unfortunate, but this game cannot run on an i7 6700 and RTX 2070. It can't. It struggles. It's so bad. I would not wish it upon anyone, which sucks because it is a great game to play on my couch. But it is what it is. I really love this knife. It's so cool to use. So yeah, it's unfortunate that it doesn't run amazingly well. And and I don't really want to demonstrate what's going on here. I don't really want to demonstrate that because I have a video of it, but I'm just like, it's just not, it doesn't run great. Yeah, so I would say if you're looking at Borderlands, this is going to be a game that you're going to thoroughly enjoy all the way through. And if you can get past the technical issues, you're going to have a blast with it. There's a reason why, unfortunately, Randy Pitchford said he just plays this at 1440p, medium settings, and so forth. Don't play this at the badass mode. Use the INI file I grabbed. Turn off your frame rate counter. Just immerse yourself and have fun. You're going to enjoy this. And then, of course, if you don't enjoy it, you buy it through Steam, you can at least use their refund policy of 2 hours. I would say everyone should at least try it for the couple hours that it takes. I don't like that the shaders take forever to compile on lower end machines, but on this one I've had no problems at all with shaders. And when I did, it was very quick. It didn't take more than a couple minutes to do. But that's also because this is like a pretty high-end machine for like 2020, and it's still a pretty decent machine even now. The 5900X is not like by any means a slouch. It's also not like a Ryzen 9 7950X3D or 99X3D. Like, it's not anything like that, right? It's not like a high-end machine, but it's still like 2 generations old, but it's still really good. And the GPU is basically PS5 Pro level. I'm having a lot of fun. That's really all there is to say about this. I'm having a lot of fun with this game, and I'm absolutely going to finish it. And I'm going to be completely candid with you. My buddy, who I family share with, I didn't even know he bought this until I looked at my Steam games list, and I'm like, oh, hey, I have Borderlands 4 in there. I was actually going to buy it. I was going to buy it. This is why I can be objective about this. I'm not going to give a review score because this isn't a review. This is just my first few hours overview, what I like and dislike about the game. The story exists, as I want to say that to end on this video on a good note. The story exists. I have not noticed anything egregious where I'm like, oh, that felt out of place, or that's not a funny joke. I mentioned the protein one because, it's a little weird. I mentioned the protein thing because that was like, okay, it's relevant to the, it's in universe, it makes sense. But I'm like, my only real thing is I wish that this grappling hook could be more like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, where if I do this, right, I jump off, I could just attach it to anywhere, a la Dying Light 2 or whatever. It would be so cool to be able to grapple and explore this stuff. Of course, it'd be extra work, but I think that would be amazing. But I've been playing all this one area, basically, just to show you how massive this game is. This was a dream of ours back when Borderlands 1 and 2 came out, to have an open world game. Because I remember exploring Windshear Waste, exploring, I can't even remember. Like, there are so many other areas. Sanctuary, all these other places, right? It's been forever since I played it. I think it was like Blood Gulch, not Blood Gulch, sorry, that's Halo. But there's so many places, like Iridium Blights. I remember these areas, right? Where I'm like, oh man, and even the city of, basically Jack City, right? I can't think of what it's called right now. Prosperity, I think it is. It was so cool to explore these and these little hub worlds. But I'm like, oh man, I would love if I could just like have no loading screens and be able to enjoy this experience fully. This right here, folks, I've never seen a single Mad Max movie, but this feels like something you'd see in like Horizon Zero Dawn or Mad Max or whatever. Like, this game has those moments that are super fun, and that's what I mean. Like, it really does feel like a proper entry in a Borderlands franchise. It doesn't feel like it's an offshoot. Again, I haven't played much of Wonderland, so I don't know how good or bad it is. I know that game changed up some things. But this feels like it's a proper entry in the series, and it feels like something that, the last one we got, the last mainline Borderlands game we got was 3, and that was in 2019. Or 2020 if you didn't have it on Epic. I bought this game on Epic. Not this one, but I bought Borderlands 3 on Epic. Then I got it on Steam. I have played so much of the DLC on 3, but not all of it. I can say that, like, something about that game, I can't get into now because I've just, like, the legendaries. I have noticed maybe a couple legendaries in this game. which I'm very happy about because I felt like legendaries didn't really matter as much in Borderlands 3. They were just another weapon to have, right? I have said so much about this game. I have gushed about it. I haven't licked the boot. I haven't done anything like that. I'm thoroughly enjoying this game. You can tell from how passionate I am in this video how much I love it. There's a fast travel system in this one. I haven't got to it yet. Everything just feels right to me. And once they get the performance and the optimization sorted out here, which it needed more time to cook. Let's be honest. This is a game that needed to come out in October. It would have been perfect for that, right? Spooky season, all that. But it's here now. Or even the end of September. Of course, shareholders, all that stuff, that's where we're at. These games never get finished fully. And after working in the games industry, I really have to say, like, I'm glad when games get delayed and they take their sweet time. Cyberpunk is one of the greatest games. Cyberpunk 2077 is one of the greatest games ever. It truly is. There's so much you can do in that game. But it wouldn't have the same level of praise that it does now if they hadn't have gone back to the drawing board a little bit and reworked some of the systems and made a better game. I was talking to my buddy Chris about it, who I worked with, right, as the engineer on the projects that we work on. And we were discussing Cyberpunk. And we were discussing No Man's Sky. And we were discussing a bunch of different games, right? Games that had a lot of potential, but just didn't let it be met. Cyberpunk 2077 had a great game underneath it, had a great foundation. It was a super fun game to play. I never had an issue with it, to be honest with you. What I played of that game made me very happy. I kept meaning press T instead of X. That game made me very happy. But when I look at Cyberpunk now, I'm like, I am so glad I played Phantom Liberty. It was one of the finest experiences I've ever had. Not just as an expansion, but as a full story. I love that game, seriously. It is so good. And the truth is, if they had have just said, okay, we released our game, it sucked, whatever, and they just started working on another one, I think people would have been fine with it. But the fact that they did it, they tried to repair their reputation. They did what Hello Games did with No Man's Sky, and they just provided great content. I want to mention this too. I think it's really important. No Man's Sky with Hello Games, right? Hello Games with No Man's Sky has not released a single piece of paid DLC. The entire time that game's been out, they've basically been trying to win back the goodwill of gamers over the past decade, basically. 9 years, effectively, or whatever it was. Since that game released in 2016, they have been trying their best to release, to basically get people to say, hey guys, we're sorry we screwed up. We're sorry we were dishonest to you. We're sorry that we oversold our game. Every single piece of No Man's Sky's content has been free, which is wild in 2025 when you've got DLC, season passes, battle passes, all that stuff, right? All these great not these great things, all these things that are frowned upon. This game does not have any of it. And they're still working on it. And they still have another game coming. So this game is good. Underneath all of the issues of controversy, Borderlands 4 is truly one of the greatest games to come out in years. And if you can get past the performance issues, you're going to have a good time. That's my humble opinion on this game. I know I've yapped for a long time about it, but I really do love what they've done with this game. I really do. It's just so unbelievably fun to just screw about and take out bandits, man. It's just so fun. So many weapons, so much customization with the... Well, I mean, I don't know about customization. Apparently this game has gun customization. I haven't really got it. And again, I barely scratched the surface. I'm going back to it again, how big this game is. This is the area that I'm in. I haven't even touched any of this additional stuff. This is massive. It's massive. I've got lost, but I haven't felt like I'm lost. You know, I've just been going to various areas, just having fun. And I can't wait to see the map open up and find out what other stuff there is. Will I feel the same way in 50 hours? Will I still have the same enjoyment. I don't know. I really don't know if I'm going to be enjoying this, once I'm done the story. I've gotten through a character or two, and then I, play more and more, right? I don't know. That is cool. I don't know if I'm going to like that. They definitely took inspiration from Doom. I'm going to say that right now. They definitely took inspiration in the music from Doom and in the gameplay too. Like the gunplay, as I'm saying, is just super satisfying to use. I haven't done a lot of it, but like when you got to do, I'll just give it as an example. So you got this, right? We're going to use this. We're going to float in. We're just going to float in and we're going to do that. We're going to drop in and we're going to do bam. And then what we're going to do is we're going to chain that together and we're going to basically take them out with a shotgun. Yes, I would say the shotguns in this game are some of the greatest threats to the enemies. It's so fun to have the shotgun. Would I be having a different story if I didn't have these amazing weapons that I do? I don't know, maybe. But this shotgun, I don't know. It kicks a lot of ass. It's really holding my hand and really pulling me through this level. This gun's cool though. I like that all these guns too have various weapons, like weapon modes. So like this one here doesn't, but then the sniper has a different feature, I think. Let me just check. Some of them do, some of them don't. I like that, some of the pistols or some of the SMGs or whatever can go switch to assault rifles and things like that. Again, this game is just doing so much good for it, and I've enjoyed every ounce that I've played so far. Yeah, 50 hours from now might be a different story entirely. That's when I'll do a review. When I basically complete this game, I will do a review of it. Not that anyone's going to probably watch it, but I'll talk about it. And I'm going to also kind of end on this too. I have not gone into co-op at all. Medium's been fine with my computer. I could probably switch it to high, but I like what the frame rate I'm getting. I'm not upset about it. The fact that they've got all of these accessibility options for controllers, the fact that you've got, presets, you can just adjust all this. The gameplay, you can censor gore if you wanted to. There's, reticle position. You can change all of this, right? The fact that all of this stuff is in here, there's network and social. You can have character switch. You can have push to talk, of course. But accessibility, I love that they have this. They've got menu text scrolling. They've got damage numbers, force mono, mix preset, color preset. You can change all this stuff. I'm glad that games include this, right? Accessibility is incredibly important now. Mantle forward. Oh, if you just want to mantle forward, you can just press the forward button. Audio, advanced, force mono. You can change all of this stuff. This is amazing. If you don't want to have claptrap on, you can turn claptrap off. This is amazing stuff, and I'm glad that they included it in this game. So many games don't, and it's a shame. I would like a higher FOV. I would like 120, but again, I'm fine with 110. By the way, this is what the game actually defaults to. It's 90, which is fine, but it's a little too zoomed in. It looks nice though. It does look nice. But like I'm pointing this out, right? We go to 90 and we go to 110, and now like we look at it, right? And it's like you just see more. I play at this because it's what I've been comfortable with for many years. Quake Pro is 200 FOV. But like I want to explore all this stuff. I was playing through Far Cry 6. I know I said I'd end on it, but I'm playing through Far Cry 6, and that game just had so much to do. And I was like, oh, there's some cool weapons, there's some cool stuff, but I'm just like, I'm really not all that interested in it. And then when my, Game Pass trial or subscription was up, I'm like, I'm okay. Like, I don't really want to finish this game. When I found out the ending, I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, this doesn't feel like that to me. And I'm honest with you, the villain, Timekeeper, ooh, got a purple. Timekeeper, he feels fine. The voice actor Dave Fennoy is a fantastic actor, so take that as you will. But the voice act, the acting, it feels fine. Like it feels like a good quality villain. The other side villains also feel really good to shoot. I really I don't mind this Iron guy or whatever. I don't know. I'm really played enough of this to really get an idea. But yeah, I'm loving what I've played. I'm gonna go ahead and equip that to Yeah, I'm going to go for my Matador's March. I want to see how this feels. It's a Torgue weapon. That's really good. Yeah. All right, let's see pistol. Ooh, I like the scope on it. That feels nice. All right, I'm going to try that out. Yeah, that's basically my video. I just wanted to play through the game and talk for like almost an hour about my thoughts on Borderlands 4 because I think it is so good. I think there's things they could improve upon, but the biggest area is by far going to be the performance. It's just going to be what it is. And that's always going to be something that's going to overshadow until they can make it acceptable. But I brought this up in another video I was working on, and I'll say it again. I try to run Borderlands 2 on every single thing I can. I've played it on crappy laptops. I've played it on phones. I've played it on a bunch of things. Borderlands 2, when I had a 2014 Mac Mini that I got in a trade, or that I got from someone, I tried playing Borderlands 2 on it, and it ran. It ran okay. It was fine. The Mac Mini is not a gaming computer whatsoever. But I remember this is a game that I was playing when I first started getting into computer gaming. And I don't mean like, oh, you know, like, whatever. I just mean like I didn't really have a really good enough gaming computer at that point. I had a Pentium 4 based machine with 256 megabytes of RAM and a 40 or 80 gig hard drive or 160 gig hard drive. It wasn't a lot. I played Half-Life 2. I played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I played a bunch of different games, right, in like software shader mode and stuff. When I look back at Borderlands 2 and one of the first video cards I got, I love that game. I really did. I loved it so much. And I'm like, it's one of my favorite games ever. But when I look at Borderlands 2, I'm like, I can't really play a lot of it because that intro is just annoying to get through. So I always try to go back to my playthrough. And I'm still working on the Commander Lilith Fight for Sanctuary DLC. And because I'm playing on like the hardest difficulty, I'm having a hard time with it because I don't want to use slag and everything like that. And so I'm like, this sucks. This sucks to use, right? So I keep dying with my critical conference call and so forth. And I'm like, this is not great. But I love the game. I love the memories that I've made with it, the friends that I've met through it and played on that game. And this area right here gives me strong Borderlands 2 feelings. But the fact that I can just do this, and I can do this, and I can do this, and I can do this. Oh, I thought that was going to be a fast travel point. The fact I can do that, and I can just explore all this area, and then I can go to a different area, and I can go to a different area, and I can go to a different area, and this isn't just a loading zone. This right here is a dream game for me. You know, even if Timekeeper or any of the other villains are not as memorable as as Handsome Jack, I don't care. The gameplay in this game is incredibly fun. I haven't even used my other abilities yet because the gunplay is so friggin' strong. Like, it really is top tier stuff. You know? It's just so good. And as the kids say, they cooked. They cooked so hard on this game. And you can tell the passion from the developer. You can tell why Randy felt like there was so much content in this game. And it makes me sad that because with all the issues of it, it has a mixed review on Steam and that there are people who aren't going to play it. Borderlands 2 to this day is still a top tier game. It still sells remarkably well. And people have so much fun with that game because it was a great game to begin with. And that's what Borderlands 4 is. It's a great game to begin with. I don't feel like I'm playing rehashed content. I don't feel like I'm playing the same areas. I don't feel like I'm going through the same crap that I've done every single time. There is a level of wonder. There's a honeymoon period. There's all these great things in it. But I love it. I love it so much. And now that the world's opened up and I can just... That's awesome! That was amazing! Sorry, that was just like a perfect example of this. That would have been a scripted moment in Borderlands 2. Everyone would have experienced it. Apparently, this game is a lot more like Far Cry 5, where you can kind of go on the story at your own pace, and you can kind of go to different areas. I think. I don't know. I could be wrong. My computer is lagging. But the fact that that exists, just that whole moment happened, I don't care. That was amazing. It makes me want to continue past the breadcrumb trail and just go explore this world on my own. Even if there's not a lot to do, even if there aren't a lot of areas to go to, that was so cool. But it does seem like I've hit a barrier. So maybe I'm kind of forced. I don't know. Maybe there's a cinematic or a thematic or story reason why I couldn't progress there. Maybe it's like you know, you have to do that. But like, look at that. Like, I'm just going off the bike. There's the crash, and I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna explore Wreck of the Master. I don't know what any of this is, but this is awesome. This is groundbreaking. Not groundbreaking. This is just well done. And the music very much reminds me of Nine Inch Nails, with Marilyn Manson and like Muse and stuff. It's just a good game. Like, I don't know what else to say, folks. You're either gonna love it or hate it, and that's Borderlands in a nutshell. It's either gonna be super obnoxious to you, or it's gonna be mayhem in a bottle. Because holy crap, they knew what they were doing when they made this game. I could understand why Randy Pitchford was so adamant that everyone's going to have fun with it, because holy crap, it is fun. I was worried that I was just going to be fighting robots the entire time. I don't know if that was a special enemy or what, but Lord, this is so good. This is just so good. Magnum rockets? What? Dude just got ripped to pieces. Oh my god. This game is brutal, by the way. I don't mean like, oh wow, like, I mean this is straight up, this is a brutal game. Okay, so I can't actually switch my, that's cool. Alright, let's just end on this. We're gonna end on this fight. I know I said, but I had a lot I wanted to talk about. And I have spoken so much of this. I love that they have all the TD door weapons. You can just throw them at your enemies, like based on the level of health. Everything is just awesome in this. You can have like multiple Spectres out, multiple Reapers. It's just a bad-ass game. And performance issues aside, Gearbox knew what they were doing when they made this. I said that, and I'm sorry that I keep repeating the same thing for the past hour. I'm not trying to pad it out. I really had a lot to say in this first few hours, and I love it. I love every single thing about this game, with a large asterisk saying I don't love the performance. But the fact that, again, I haven't really touched base until the end here about the performance, and the very beginning means that the game is not struggling as much. And I don't have a god tier computer. I don't have, you know, an RTX 5090. I don't have any of that. I'm playing at 1440p. At 1080p, it's slightly better. But I look back at Borderlands 2, and yeah, it scaled well, but you look at it, had physics issues. It had like the, you know, all the issues with the, you know, physics and the gibs and the gore and all that stuff, and the way it would explode. And I never got to experience Borderlands 2 with those cool physics effects until much, much later on. I remember Andreas, my buddy, I was living with him when I was living with him for some time as a roommate. And I remember we got his GTX 650 Ti boost, and I enabled physics on the first time. I'm like, oh my god, the game just looked amazing. You shoot the rocks stuff. When I played it on my 3060 Ti and stuff on Borderlands 2, I was like, looks great. But I didn't leave it on for a reason, because it would take up so much performance. When I had that 2080 Ti, it also took up a lot of performance. But I look at it now and I'm like, yeah, it's fun. But, you know, I love what they've done. And I'm going to be pissed off more as time goes on. I'm going to be more annoyed about little things. I'm like, oh, that sucks. I don't want to go through that intro sequence again. But I would say overall, for what it accomplishes, Borderlands is just a lovely series that has done great things for the games industry. Gearbox are the top of their game for their gameplay and their gameplay design. Anything else, I don't know. I can't speak anything else to their optimization, lack thereof, or anything like that. I just can say that I love what they've done. They know how to make a great game. And even pre-sequel was so good. With its few issues here and there, it was still super fun. Gearbox have just made a collective masterpiece franchise, and I'm so happy they've done it. And this is just a great game. It has its issues. It has its faults. I'm not paid by them. I don't work with them. I don't know anyone who works at Gearbox currently, unless I looked at LinkedIn. Maybe I do. But I don't think I know anybody. But I've just, as a fellow game player. Oh, what? Bro, what? Hold on. Sorry. This game just keeps giving me more and more stuff. What is going on here? This is cool. Oh, you can't summon your vehicle. That's cool though. I'm glad they have that. Oop. Sorry, this is just all new. Like, I'm just finding new stuff to experience. So this is like a mini boss that's underneath a little thing. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna use the knives because these grenades are amazing to use. Yeah, it looks like it's a little tough guy, but anyway, I've just played all the side content. I'm not even focusing on the main quest, and that's the thing about Borderlands 2. I would say is I focus primarily on the main quest. Maybe that's why I disliked it, or not why I disliked it, but why I don't really remember as many side quests as I remember the main quest. There's so much side content in that game. And I would say that this game the full price you're paying for it, even at $70 or whatever, is more than fine. But I also can't say, I'd say that games have gotten too expensive. And so if you can't afford this, you can't family share it or whatever, then don't go out and waste your money on it if you can't afford groceries. You know, I don't want to say it's a luxury. And I don't want to end this video on a sour note, but that's the truth. Like, if you can't afford this game, it's not going to be something you have to play right now. Like, it's not like, I'm going to be honest, it's not Grand Theft Auto 6. It's not something you're going to feel like, oh, you're getting FOMO from or whatever if you don't play it right now. But I have to say, after trying it on a couple different computers and stuff, I think they've killed it. I think they've done such a good job. And it's just a shame that behind all the great game is just not great performance, which people are gonna, I'm getting freezing this up, people are gonna miss out on a great experience. I'm gonna say egregious, but oh wow, that was a waste. People are gonna miss out on an amazing experience of Borderlands because they just couldn't get the performance sorted out, and it makes me really sad because I love what they've done. I really do. I'm gonna use the rocket mode here. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Oh, that takes up so much damage. I can see why that's like a special ability. I love the side. I love my special abilities. This game. I love it. I love everything about this game. I really do. The music's good. The gameplay loop is fun. The loot seems like it's pretty decent. Again, I'm getting no issues with legendaries, like an oversupplied, like overdropping them. Right? I'm not getting anything like that. Because that was one of my biggest complaints about Borderlands 3. And I think a lot of other people had that issue too. Is there was just so many legendaries that dropped. It's just like, oh, I remember the Doom shotgun. And that was cool, but like, why is this in the game? I get it's a nod to Doom, and it's fine, but like, it was just like, this doesn't fit whatsoever inside this game. No, you are not. I will not. I will forbid you from doing that. Do not. Oh man, this is a waste. This guy's a little too hard to fight. I'm gonna be honest with you. He's just a little too difficult to fight. I'm gonna get my butt handed to me. I don't really have the ammo to do this, and I'm gonna die. And there's no other enemies around. I'm dead. I'm dead. I feel like I'm gonna die here. I have to really think about what I'm doing. I don't even know like how to spec my character out or anything like that. I'm just trying to fight this guy. I feel like this is a great place to end. But I want to finish this fight off because holy crap, this is so good. This is just fun to me. And I'm glad that, you know, Glenn, wherever you are in this world, you know, my sister's ex-boyfriend, I am so glad that you bought me Borderlands 2 and that I had the moment to be able to enjoy it because this is my favorite series by far. When I think about series that I will continually play today, I love The Legend of Zelda, but I'm going to be honest with you, the only game I will actually thoroughly play all the way through is Ocarina of Time. Because I love Ocarina of Time. It's an amazing game. It did so much for the industry. It did so much for games as a whole. But I haven't played a lot of Wind Waker. I haven't played a lot of Twilight Princess. I've never finished them. This is unfair. This is a bullet spongy enemy. I'm telling you, man. This is something you would need to do with like a group of friends to really finish this fight off, because I got him almost dead. And if I die, it's not the end of the world, but it's just like, come on, really? I don't even have a lot of ammo. Like, I'm gonna die. This is a waste of my... This is a waste of ammo. Like, I'm gonna die. He's gonna respawn, and this is gonna be a waste of time. Yeah, I mean, he's getting close to dead, but it's just like, come on, really? Music reminds me very much of cyberpunk stuff. It's good. It's good stuff. Like the people who worked on this, they've done a great job. Looks like a rhino, honestly, to me. I don't know why, I'm just kind of reminded of Rhino from Spider-Man. Dude, this is not great. Torque sticky. Okay, we'll just use a torque sticky. Yeah, I'm gonna get destroyed. I can't fight this guy. He's too hard. I like the little challenges too. I didn't even mention those. Again, yeah, I've just really been talking about all the things I love about this game. I'm gonna have to snipe him. Dude, I'm just gonna mail him to death. If I die, it's, I guess, whatever. It's over. It's over. I don't care. Whatever. All right, this is a waste of my time. I wasted so much ammo here. I'm gonna have to come back and fight this guy, because he's like a pretty difficult mini boss. Like, he's like a dynamic world boss or whatever, and it's fine. But it's just like, come on, really? I'm gonna use the Spectre and the Reaper ability, and I'm just gonna go ham on him and see if they can kill him. Come on. I'm just gonna go for it. Whatever. If this is how I have to actually fight this guy, I'm gonna be really annoyed. I don't have any more ammo. So like, I can't use my other Tedador weapons or whatever. I just have to sit here and like fight this guy like this. This is really annoying. Maybe I can snipe him. I just don't want to waste my ammo, because like, I don't really have my third option here. This is so bad, dude. Come on. I'm dead. Like, I straight up have no more ammo, and I'm wasting bullets here trying to fight this guy. Oh, come on. I'm gonna be so annoyed if like I die to this. Also, I just wasted. I should have just waited for my shields to revive. Whatever. Okay, I'm out of ammo, dude. I'm so out of ammo. Like, what the hell? I have to use grenades to do this? Come on, what? But like, that's what this game ends up doing, right? Like, do I have any more ammo at all? Oh, I do actually have ammo. Okay, Tedador, come on. I'm just gonna throw it. Whatever, it doesn't matter. If I have to fight for your life, I'm gonna... Okay. Oh, that was tough, man. Whew, that was a tough fight. And that is Hellhound. Hey, that's the shotgun I was referring to, but I had a legendary version. I'm gonna drop all this Tedador crap that I don't need, because yeah, it's so garbage. Okay. What is this? What is this? Purple. I'll take the blues, because blues are fine. But yeah, there's so much garbage in there I don't need anymore. And that's what I mean. Like, you're gonna find so much loot you're just not gonna need. I'm sorry. This was just a perfect moment. The Mali one would probably be fine, but I don't want to need it. It's a white weapon. I'm gonna find way more Mali one weapons later on. Okay, I really want to swap that out and see how it feels to use, because it looks cool. Oh, what is this? Is this a shotgun? Oh, that's nice. Okay, very cool. All right, well, anyway, that was it. I think this is a good place to end on, because I could ramble for hours about this game and what I love about it. I did not expect that boss fight towards the end of the video at all. I played one section. I played one part of this map in an hour. There's definitely going to be like some more content, you know, for me to explore through, but I don't like the shotgun as much. I mean, well, it's pretty good, but it's just like, all right, whatever. It's fine. The music is very much also, I want to mention it too before I end this video. Music is very Borderlands-y. That's a good thing, right? It doesn't feel so out there and like extra. It feels proper. It feels like they really know what they're doing. Anyway, I have that one shotgun, and it's really good. I want to go back to it. There's no point keeping this shotgun. It's just not that good. I thought it would be better, but it's really not that good. This one's so much better. All right. Yeah. I was hoping to show the fast travel point. I don't know how it works. I've never used a fast travel system. I'm going to look at my my legend here. Let me see if I have a fast travel point. Echo log. There's definitely a lot to look for here for sure. Oh, okay. So you can just fast travel. Oh, okay. Well, that kind of spoils it a little bit. I did like how they did fast travel in the previous game, but that was also when it was Hub World. Yeah, that's cool. So that's how fast travel works. You can go to a fast travel station, or you can just go right onto you can go to the map. That's going to make it a little bit kind of annoying to me that they've included that in the game. Because for me, it's kind of like, all right, what was the whole point of that, right? But yeah, Launchpad is fine. It's not annoying. It's just like, it just feels like you're going to kind of cheapen the experience a little bit if all you're doing is just fast traveling from point to point to point. But I do like that they have it as an option if you want to just have no downtime. I have literally not used fast travel till now. Yeah, this is good though. This game is really good. I've spoke seriously for over an hour and a half almost of this. What I love about this game, not so much what I dislike. There are things I haven't really encountered anything I outright say this is awful. Like where I'm like, I hate this. I have not experienced anything like that where I'm like, this is the only thing I've said that was even close is just the whole protein bar joke. It's just annoying. I don't want to hear him talk about protein bars. And there's a joke about protein stars. I'm like, I just don't care. I don't want to hear it. Thank you. It's annoying. And of course, like I said, the performance is just, I'm going back. That's the only issue I actually have with it, because I'd love to be able to play this fully maxed out on my computer, or at least super high settings or whatever, you know. I can't, and it's fine. I think we're going to end this video at a great point for people that have stuck around. We're going to go access a chest here. I'm going to use up a golden key. I don't know how many golden keys I have. I didn't get a legendary this time. That's annoying. I'm going to select all this stuff. I'm also going to see if I can expand. I have my SDU and see if I can expand it. I could not. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to end by showing you. I don't want to lose anything here. I'm going to go to my bank here. And you can see my bank. I've got 30 out of 30 used. Oh, sorry. Yeah, my backpack. I'm sorry. I have 25 out of 50. So I'm actually going to do a deposit a few different things that I don't need. Rare, recent. We'll go to by rarity. We're going to deposit this. I got that from a chest. I'm going to go ahead and deposit all these purples. Anything I'm not using. I love the knives. They're so good. I'll look at all this stuff later. I don't really need it right now. That's all the stuff I have equipped. Nice. All right, let's go grab what we have and see if it's any better than what we currently have. Oh, well, that was interesting. I didn't know I was going to do that. Okay, what did we just collect? Let's take a look at that. I always love looking at this stuff. It's always fun to me. We'll look at recent. So what we just got was the following. We got this shield. We got this grenade. Performative rider. I'll try that out, see if it's any better. Shield. And then an energy shield at 693. That's really good, actually. I think that'd be good. And an assault rifle. So what we'll do is we'll look at our level, and we are going to compare to what we've got here to our currently equipped one, which is that knife one. So this has, oh yeah, okay, this is much better. So we're gonna go ahead and enable that, I think. Our shield, I'm kind of wanting that shield more. Oh no, that's a better shield by far. Damn, that's good. And then of course, what we've got for, so pretty much almost purple gear at this point. Purple and yeah, purple gear, purple and legendaries. Yeah. Yeah, this is... Oops. I meant to do... That order is an amazing rifle. That sniper is so good. What do we got here? Anything that's better? Okay, let's take a look at this. And then anything that's better than this, I'm going to sort by the level. Can I filter by... Ooh, damage. That's nice. I like that. I like that they have that. That's so good. Yeah, so these are all by the... I'm going to go rarity, I guess. Yeah, so this assault rifle on that one, I'm going to probably end up going with... Okay, I did actually swap for that. That kitty is fine. All right, so let's see. Oh, we got some rewards to it. I'm sorry. This game is a lot to do, man. There's a lot to do. Okay. Yes, let's go ahead and equip that into... Oh man, I don't even know what shotgun that is. I don't know what slot I'm going to put that in because it's hard to tell. That's something they should do. You should be able to highlight over it. That's just like a little thing. Really? I need to see how that hot slugger is because that looks amazing. Oh baby, that looks so good. All right, we're gonna quickly fast travel to a point just to go fight some baddies here and just see if we can get yeah, we'll fast travel to our safe house and just see if we can take out an enemy. I need to see what this is like now that I've actually got this amazing weapon. Oh, hello. Bricked up kitty. Huh, okay. Sure, I'll buy it. Which is gone to where? Anyways. Oh, that's cool. Vending machine has... I don't need that. Item of the day. What is the item of the day? Trash. Okay, I don't need that. Camel full. Alright, what do we got here? Okay, let's go see. We're going to jump off this cliff here. And we're going to go see if we can take out an enemy. Looking on our compass. I like the compass too. I don't mind the compass, honestly. I think it's actually pretty good. No fall damage, which is nice. Alright, let's see if we can find some enemies around. Okay, sweet. Let's see. How does this feel? Wow, that was terrible. I might not end up using the shotgun strictly because that reload is kind of slow. But holy crap, it does a lot of damage. That's kind of amazing. I mean, I'm only against level 9 enemies, so I mean, it's not really all that much. Also, customization. Apparently, you can customize your weapons a little bit. Okay, so all you can really do for customization is change it to be like the look of it. I think that's kind of dumb to me a little bit. No, I like that one. Looks interesting. Oh, there's a lot of other different vehicles too. That's pretty cool. Like, I have not checked this out. Echo 4, I've customized him a little bit, made him a little birthday hat. That's cute. The frame, the Echo 4. Okay, and then paint job. I can change it to whatever. Got some good options here. It's Town Crimson. It's kind of cute. I'm going to probably unlock all this. There's a lot of challenges you can complete, which is always nice. Yeah. I think it's a fun game. I've said that. I've said that so many times. I really think it's a fun game. And I definitely am going to play way more of it here in the near future. In fact, I'm going to play it. I'm going to keep playing it. Like, I'm loving it. And I'm going to finish it because I don't get a lot of time to play as many games as I want to. Back to Dead Ringer, place 5 points into Grave Assault. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I'm just looking. I'm following a guide. So it should be okay. So Grave Assault. All right, we're gonna do that. As I said, I'm following that guide. All right, sweet. Yeah, that's tempting kitty. Oh, man, bricked up kitty. 146. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see if I can swap it. I love that sniper. It's so good. Oops. Nope. I didn't want to do that. I'm looking for a really good sniper or assault rifle. Throne. Yeah, we'll use that. Okay, sweet. Yeah, this makes me very happy to play this game. I love that shotgun. It's just so good. That is so satisfying, the way it reloads. It's just so cool to me. I love a good shotgun. I'm super. Ooh, is it a Jacobs? I'm wondering. Let me see how this will work. I love that ability too, when you can just throw stuff. Oh yeah, that's Teddy Door. That's 100% a Teddy Door weapon. You can also change it to like full auto to underbarreled shotgun. Dude, what the hell is this game? It just gets better and better, folks. Sorry, I know my audio has not been amazing this whole video, but holy crap, I had to talk about this because it's just, you know, when you've been playing Borderlands for a long time, you kind of get sick of some things, right? You get sick of playing. You're like, I wish this game did this and this and this, and I'm like, well, it does. Now it does. I wish the game was more open world. Well, now it is. I wish the game had stronger co-op. I don't know how it is, but I'm gonna guess it's probably as solid as it's ever been. This is amazing. This game is just good. Yeah, so expect my full review after I hit like 50 hours plus in this. Like basically, once I complete a level or like a playthrough or two, I'll make a proper video about it, talk about the pros, the cons, everything. Immediately though, the gravity, like the grappling hook is just amazing to use. Everything about this game just feels fun. It just feels fun. And that is my honest to God opinion about something that you just lose so much in games now. Every game now feels like it's a chore to play in a lot of ways, unfortunately, and that's just the nature of like live service games and where the industry's gone. And if you don't really feel like you're accomplishing a goal, you don't really feel like you're doing anything to have fun. It just feels like you're doing a checklist. And that's something Borderlands has never failed on me, is I've never really felt like I was fulfilling a checklist and going from point A to point B because I'm like, well, I'm doing this because I need to collect this loot or whatever. It does not feel like that to me. It really feels like the open-endedness of Diablo. And this is probably, yeah, like I said, this is the best Borderlands game to date. I can't wait to see what they end up doing with 5. Because there's going to be a 5. There has to be a 5. Even if it's in 2030, there has to be a 5. Or there has to be a Borderlands 3.5 or pre-sequel 2 or something. There just needs to be something else to really tie it together of how we ended up here. Because what they've completed and accomplished in the past few years, you know, let's say 5 years, right? They've accomplished in the past 5 years really says something. I mean, yes, Wonderlands, like I said, was done. I don't know if that was done by Gearbox or if it was done by a B team, but yeah, it's good. It's really good. It's just a really, really fun experience, and I look forward to seeing how much more the game progresses. Okay, thank you for watching this video. Again, my name is Joel Peters. Like it, dislike it, doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Comment your thoughts, your favorite moments in Borderlands history, what you remember most about this amazing series. And if you don't like the game, comment Midlands so I know you made it this far. Because I don't expect most people to make it this far. But I've talked so much about it. And I'm just happy that I've rambled for all this time because I love it. I love this game. I love what I've played. And I love that I want to play more. And it takes me back to high school, college, and all the great moments I've had. I'm just sad that I can't play it on lower end hardware and other people can't enjoy it as much. And that is a-okay though, because what they've done, they've made great. But they also said that Alan Wake 2 couldn't run on lower end hardware, and they ended up fixing that years later, so, or like a year later. So take that as you will. And thank God it's not just an Epic exclusive. They totally could have. Thank God for save. And by that I mean health saving. And that is it for this video.